What's going on, here, Ned? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, let's continue with episode 3 from my Everyday Carry budget series. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope all is well and having a beautiful day wherever you are. Now, for today's video, I wanted to make this one a practical one. A lot of these products I've been using on the everyday basis, things at work, going out and about. They've just been really great products, especially for the bang for the buck. So let's get started. So to start us off, this thing here is one of my favorite pry bars I love using every day. This thing here is called the Fulcrum by Beer Engineering. Now, to those who haven't been following this channel, I love pry bars. Pry bars for me is the best multi-tool of them all. While it has one function, it has so many applications. With that being said, let me dive into the specs for the Fulcrum. Let's talk about durability. This thing is super durable. From top down, back to front, this thing here is made of a giant slab of titanium, which is great for pry bar applications. Now, I think this is great. While not everything has to be titanium, this for me is the best thing to have as titanium, in my personal opinion. For me, I use this every single day to pry things open, to cut things open, to screw things in out and everything. I want this to be super durable. I want this to be able to withstand all types of things and not be able to fail. So I think this is awesome. For durability, I think having a pry bar that's made of titanium is just the way to go. Moving on, let's talk about the design of this thing. I personally love this so much more than the designs of other titanium pry bars, especially those you see on Amazon. As you can see here, you can see a giant key clip, like a pocket clip here that's attached to this actual pry bar. Personally, I love that a lot. I just don't want to be digging for this thing in my pocket when I actually need it. I want to just take it out of my pocket, use it, and then put it back. For those who you want to get those on Amazon, they are much cheaper, but I think the design of this for an actual key, an actual clip, is a lot easier for your everyday types of use, in my personal opinion. I think this is great, but if you don't actually want it, but you like the actual look of this thing, you can take out the clip here right in the back. And I think one thing here is just great about this even more is the fact that, this is not just a pry bar. Right here, if you can see right in the middle of this thing, you see certain bits here and you're like, wait, what is that? You just take off these small little rubber bands and then boom, you got access to 2 little small bits. Now, they give you 4 provided bits. You get a flat head, a Phillips head, and 2 little star ones. These are great applications because basically all you need to do is just take out these rubber bands, put on the top, and it magnetically connects to the top of this pry bar. It doesn't fall off, and 2, this is multifunctional. So it's not just a pry bar. You can have these bits in here if you sometimes need a Phillips or a flathead. But like I said, if you don't want that and it doesn't really float your boat, you can obviously take them off and you just have this dead empty space here, which is totally fine because you kind of have a space for your thumb and just pry away. So whatever floats your boat, the world's your oyster. For the bang for the buck, for all these different other types of features and functionality of this thing, I just think this is so much more worth it. I have no regrets on this thing. This is great. It's just been great to have a dedicated pry bar, especially for this size. So if you want to grab your hands on this one as well, links down below. Moving on, one of my favorite things I love using every single day at work now is a marker. And this one's a pretty good one. This thing here is called the Marksmith by SoulBuild. Let's talk specs. This thing here is a great permanent marker. As you can see, this thing here is made of full-on titanium, grade 5 to be specific, from top down, inside out, from the screws, the pocket clip, and the whole entire marker. This just screams a giant check mark for durability. While that's cool and all, and that's probably why it's price point for $100, I think the actual design is much more worthy to chat about. At least for me, at doing this, the whole entire labeling process and writing things with a Sharpie, it gets pretty boring. So having something like this makes it a lot more fun. It makes it amazing in your hands because it's so much more engaging to use. This thing here is a bolt action permanent marker. So all you do to engage it, you just push down, slide it over, and then bam, fine point marker engaged. I love the small little nuances that people have, especially when they create a product. And this thing here is really cool. The title of this thing, which is called a Marksmith, is actually inside the permanent marker, which is pretty cool. And then if you want to disengage this fine point marker, all you do is slide it over and then bam, disengaged. But while that's cool and all, I think the greatest part about this thing here is the inside. Basically why this is really cool, you could take this off, replace the ink cartridges themselves. You can use the highlighter ones from Sharpies, you can use the regular black ones like this one. They're fully replaceable, which is really, really nice to have. But right here, if you can kind of see the tip of this cartridge, basically it allows it to be sealed off not to dry as fast. So that's the biggest problem I have with Sharpies. They dry way too fast. It's really annoying sometimes. The more I don't use it, I know for a fact it's not drying out as fast like a regular Sharpie. And one thing I really do love about this even more, creators like SoulBuilt, I'm really glad you have some customability like options. I have my Fan the Flame motto engraved on this pen, and sometimes when I give it to another person to use, they're like, oh, what the hell does that mean? And I'm like, let me show you. And then, the whole entire conversation starts about this YouTube channel and stuff. And, it's a great thing to kind of share along my journey stuff too. So, I'm just glad great products like these gives a little more personalization to kind of have a little more spice to the day. So if you want to grab your hands on this type of pen, I'll leave a link down below to grab your hands as well. Now, moving on, another practical item I love using every single day is this thing here. This thing here is called the Titanium Bolt Action Pen by Big Eye Design. Let's talk about this pen. This thing here is very similar to the permanent marker. As you can see, this thing here is also made out full of titanium. There's no theme here about titanium, but this is a great thing to have for durability. And just like the permanent marker, this is also bolt action a bit like enable. So basically to engage it, you just push it down and you engage the pen, and then blam, disengage the pen itself. Very simple stuff. The whole thing's made of titanium from the clip, the actual thing itself. I actually have the version of a brass inlay, so that's pretty cool just to have a little spice and like customability. But why I love this even more, just like the permanent marker, you just screw off the top and then boom, you just take out the spring and you have full on access to any fine point like cartridge you want to use. So obviously for most people, you're probably like, dude, I can just buy a pen and call it a day for like $1 or so. But for someone who's going to use a pen every single day of their life probably, and probably also waste a bunch of pens if he keeps buying the plastic ones, kind of saves a little more money for cartridges. You don't have to waste so much, and like you can kind of ride this whole sustainability like movement and everything. So it's just been fun to use, and it's something really cool to show on other people when I'm using it. If you're interested as well, links down below. Second to last one of my favorite multi-tools I love carrying in my pocket in place of my knife, and this thing here is called the Titanium Pocket Tool, aka TPT, by Pete's Power Life and Big Eye Design. So if I'm being totally honest, this thing here was kind of an accidental buy for me. Back in the day, I was very into collaborations between Pete's Power Life and Big Eye Design because they're like all limited edition and they're pretty great products. But honestly, I really lucked out on this one. This has been a great, like, dedicated thing I can use for cutting applications instead of carrying my pocket knife. This has so many functionalities of it, and let me try to dive into this because there's a lot about this thing. As you can see, let's do a deep dive here. At the end here, there's this little mini pry bar you can use for any type of pry bar applications. You can use this also as a flathead screwdriver. If you just kind of lower this actual lanyard here, you can have a thicker flathead screwdriver right here as well. I don't use this thing here, this little hole. You can use this as a keychain thing as well, but this here is a 1/4 hex driver, which is, whatever floats your boat if you kind of need to use that. What I love about this, kind of cool functionalities. Inside here, there's an internal magnet. So my phone actually has a magnet here as well. So you can see it kind of hanging off here. And then what I love about this even more is that, you can use this as a scraper edge. So, if you need to scrape something, you can use this because it's made of titanium, very, very durable material, as mentioned before. I love this a lot because, as I mentioned in my previous episode, utility razor blades specifically are very useful. These are just super, super like replaceable, very cheap. I replaced this here for aesthetic purposes, but you can get a pack of 20 for like $10 or less or something on Amazon. Super, super nice and very, very easy to replace. And when they get dull, you throw it out and just pop in a new one. But with that being said, if you don't want to carry a blade itself or you don't even want to replace a pocket knife or whatever, this is still a great tool, and this also makes it now TSA friendly. Right at the end here, you can use it as a bottle opener, and if you need to open and like screw things instead of a wrench, there's like 15 different sizes that this can use because the grooves inside here that can kind of claw its way in and you just kind of crank away. Now, this is something I kind of learned recently. This here from screw to screw is actually exactly 2 inches. And then the actual like height or width, however you want to call it, is actually 1 inch. So having this in your pocket and with all the functionalities, plus a ruler, plus like all these other tools and a knife and everything else, how can you beat it? Really, it's such a good tool. Honestly, if you don't believe this by my review, there's so many people that thought maybe I'll take a chance on this thing, and hands down, they've been super satisfied with this thing. Check the comments on the store page. I'll leave the links down below for this actual TPT. If you want this as well, grab your hands on this one because I highly recommend this a lot. Finish line here, guys. Last but not least, my favorite recent addition to my everyday carry, and it's this thing here. This is called the Hero Clip Carabiner by Goin. So you probably think to yourself, bro, this is probably made of titanium too, right? Because everything else you've been sharing is made of titanium. Unfortunately not. This Hero Clip is made of aircraft grade aluminum, still built to last, still very durable material, still great stuff to use. This is the large edition of the Hero Clip, so this is not meant for climbing, but it can hold a maximum 100 pounds. So you get a bunch of these, you hold a lot of heavy stuff, you can organize your garage, hold some kayaks up and stuff, hold backpacks, water bottles, you name it. The world's your oyster. There's so many applications with the carabiner. Why I feel like I really wanted to add this into this budget episode and everything is because large carabiners are great, but the whole design of this is just such a game changer. I just had to share it with you because I think you might like this as well. As you can see, at the face front, this is obviously just a giant, large carabiner. What's so special about it? If you just undo this clip here, you rotate this top, fold this down, rotate this again, bada bing, bada boom, you got a full-on hanger to hold whatever you choose. So whether it be like a kayak, a tent, like a shopping cart, a stroller, whatever you want, you clip this on here and you can hang it from this hook. And why I love this a lot, if you can kind of see at this tip, there's a rubber footing here. So for me, when I just clip this on my backpack, I forget about it. And then when I do need it, it comes very useful. When I go to a cafe, there are times when these small little tables just do not fit a backpack. I need more clearance for what I need to do. And then obviously I don't want to have like the space and gap here to have my backpack. I want to full on lean back if I want to. And sometimes you don't have any other place to put your backpack unless it's gonna be the ground. So I personally wanna keep my stuff clean. Having this makes it airborne, which is great. And this rebel footing makes it really handy. You hook your backpack and then you just put this on the actual table and then boom, forget about it, do what your thing, do what you wanna do. And then when you're done, grab it up, clip it out, rotate this out, and then it's just really quick in a couple seconds. You can close it and it becomes super compact in seconds. I just think for less than 30 bucks, this is a steal. So if you want to grab your hands on one as well, I'll leave the links down below, but I highly recommend this because the design is just so freaking cool. So overall, guys, these are all the practical things I've been loving to use on my everyday basis. Some I just clip it and forget it. Some I just put in my backpack and just leave it there until I need it. Some are in my pockets that I use every single day. And then some are just very practical tools that replace pretty much a lot of things. They may not be practical to you, but for me, they gave me a lot of value. And hopefully, if you've kind of been new to this type of stuff, especially all these products, like I said before, all the links will be down below in the description box if you want to grab them as well. So with that being said, guys, if you like this type of stuff, I'd really appreciate it. Give it a like, it'll help this channel, especially that YouTube algorithm. Guys, if you have any questions about any of these products, I'd really love to chat with you. Comment down below of anything you want to know about the stuff that I have in this video, or honestly, if you have any recommendations that I'd love to grab for myself, I'd really appreciate it a lot. Comment down below. Let's have a conversation. And honestly, guys, I truly love making all these things, these EDC series, the whole EDC budget series, all the things and trinkets that I've been trying to use on an everyday basis, the photography, the videography stuff. It's been so fun to me. And if you want to join my life, I'd really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. I'd love to have you, and take it easy, and God bless. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one.